Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Leslie, Linda, Jenny Bolt, Wendy DeMoss. Who else is here? Amazing. So, um, hopefully I'm recording this. Some people have asked for it. I'm going to have to, I think, upload it to YouTube because I don't have the expensive form of Zoom that will allow me to uh, upload to the cloud. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. It's wonderful to see your names and see your faces. And how does it get any better than that? Um, So, wow, I've been in photo processing land and fighting with a 10-year-old brother printer. And then Linda Wassel kindly sent me a message and said, hey, this is supposed to be happening. Get with the program. So here I am. Anyway, how's it get that? Um, so I wanted to share this just kind of weird, amazing thing that happened to me, and maybe it'll apply to you, maybe it won't. So I'm shopping in Costco, as one is. I'm standing in front of the cheeses and I get this phone call saying, is this Access or Access
Oh,
Company? I said, yes, why not? This is a person calling me from Florida and wanted to know she had gotten an okay for cognitive behavioral therapy to be provided to this person who's actually a Spanish speaking Nicaraguan woman living in San Francisco. The person calling me is from Florida, and the insurance adjuster is in Illinois or Indiana, one of the two. So that just shows how crazy the American healthcare system is. So she's like, she didn't say, are you trained in cognitive behavioral therapy? It's just like, I've gotten this approved. Do you want to do it? So I'm like, sure, why not? I had a counseling degree once upon a time, and I happen to know uh, cognitive behavioral therapy because, hi, Hannah. Um, I had a friend who uh, way back, 35 years ago when I was recovering from uh, the emergency C-section of my son, I did a rebirthing um, seminar with this woman, and she's in Britain, and she spoke very derogatorily about cognitive behavioral therapy, which was the fashion then in their national health, because she considered that it was just shallow and didn't go anywhere. Well, she wants to go back to your birth to heal everything that's happening to you in your entire life. So no wonder she thought it was shallow. But anyway, I said yes, and so I see this woman, and it's a little bit weird because I'm like, okay, the MD who's treating this woman for pain in her hands is sending her to cognitive behavioral therapy. So I could only think, well, I'm supposed to teach her how to live with her pain. But in a year and a half, they've only provided 5 sessions of physical therapy, and that's it. Nothing else. A bunch of diagnostic stuff. So clearly she has an incompetent doctor. So I get really into it. And then as a result of it, I ended up renewing my chiropractic license, which was a miracle in itself because I I was moving to San Francisco in January and signing papers on this building that we bought. And I mistakenly did not renew my license, which I was supposed to do the end of January, my birth month. And so once you forfeit your license, I found out it costs twice as much to renew it. So instead of $300, it's $600 to renew it. And I wanted just to see if I could get it to inactive, to see if I could then get it to active. Well, I called them. Oh, and what I thought before was um, someone told me once 10 years ago that if your license had been inactive, which mine was for 10 years, you had to take continuing ed for every single year between then and now.
no.
Like, yeah, that would have been like 10 years, thousands of dollars of continuing ed. I wasn't going to do that. But I called them and they were very nice and helpful, the chiropractic board, the people you never want to talk to because they're your feds that supervise you. And they said, oh, no, you just to update your license to inactive or active, you have to make it active. You have to take the continuing ed. So I got online and I managed to take my 24 hours of continuing ed in a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and my license was activated on Tuesday. So then, so it was just such a miracle. So the amount that these people are paying me will cover the price of all of that, plus a little bit more. And the thing that happened is it's like I got so excited about having my license back because I felt like I was a real person. I've been in Costa Rica and nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Nobody can even speak English to me. And now suddenly I'm this professional person with this license and I have something that matters to say. So it was just like such amazing miracle gift. And then I thought, well, I'm probably going to have to provide chart notes. And so I better know a little bit about what this CBT stuff is about. So I started reading about it, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Uh, it goes into you identify what people's thoughts are, and then you teach them that they're not facts. And so
Uh-huh.
I was imagining doing that for myself, and I unraveled all kinds of stuff for myself in learning how to help this woman about stuff that was limiting thoughts that 20 years of access hadn't touched. And it was just like such an amazing miracle. So I thought I'd share that with you and say that, this person who 35 years ago told me that cognitive behavioral therapy was worthless was actually incorrect, but her thought was not a fact. It was just her point of view. And it's set all these interesting things in action. And I'm just looking at what else I can do with this because I get to renew my license again in January. So I have to take the same continuing ed again. Um, but who knows where it's going to go. It was just such an interesting adventure. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. And does anybody have any questions or comments about that? It's just wonderful to see your faces, Ronit and Hannah. To you too. Any other comments about that, or is my video on? Yeah, my video's on. Okay. Any comments or questions? You'll have to unmute.
Hi, Casey. This is Hannah here.
Hannah,
It's so good to see you again.
thank you.
I'm really excited. I got the email and I was like, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just like, so are you, I'm actually just curious. So you're working as a chiropractor in San Francisco now again?
Well, I'm doing cognitive behavioral therapy using my chiropractic license. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And then
Okay, got it then.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at, and I had these 8 sessions that were pre-approved, and I applied to do a few more with her, and they haven't answered. And you know, I found someone who's an expert in workers' comp, and she says it's a shitstorm in California. So who knows if I'll ever be able to get to see her again. But she came to me, and I'm just seeing her in the living room of my apartment because that's the only place I had to see her. And she's kind of like, well, I thought they were sending me to a clinic, and what is this? And the way
Mm.
the system works, they send her a text and tell her to appear at a certain place for an appointment, and they don't explain to her why or who this person is. So here she is in my living room, like, who the fuck is this person? The thing is, by the end, when it was the 8th session, she was really quite moved and felt really grateful because all these people that have shunted her from place to place, nobody has explained to her what's happening. Nobody's taken her side. Nobody stood up for her. And I actually wrote a report and sent it to her treating doctor, and they have to consider it in some way. And I don't know what they're going to say because they were still within their limits of the law. But I just really, I felt just in the course of these 8 sessions, and of course I ran her bars a couple times, um, really experienced the essence of who I was and who I could be as a healer that I guess I'd always been, but I hadn't been able to express that in such a long time. And it was just so nice to be back. So that that's what's happening for me. And I'm one of the things they say that one of the biggest factors in longevity, which is something that I look at when it comes across my phone, is having a sense of purpose. And so, um, of course, I'm interested in creating possibilities for people, but I'm not interested in creating classes per se, but I'm really investing a lot of my time and energy in photography. And it's, maybe it'll play